regularly scheduled program will not be seen today so that we can bring you this special presentation.
Welcome, wrestling fans, to the Nation Network. Mean Scheme here along with the body, Jesse Ventura. What a year it has been here at the Nation Network. We welcome all of you joining us here live, and you will be a part of the program tonight. Whether you're here live or whether you're watching later on, we want to hear from you. We have narrowed down the top 4 matches of the year based on a number of criteria. Watch time, comments, and then the match itself. The story that was told between the participants. You will get the final say as to which of these is the match of the year. With that, we're going to kick things off with our very first match of the year candidate. And I think we can all agree this was one for the ages. Well, we're going to go back to Boston Garden, and it was actually a recent program that took place there between the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and the one and only Undertaker. And believe you me, this was a battle. Indeed, the culmination of months' worth of feuding would come down to this meeting in Beantown. Let's go back and take a look at how things went down.
Contest is a casket match. There are no pinfalls, submissions, disqualifications, or countouts. The only way to win is for a superstar to force their opponent inside of the casket. After closing the casket lid shut, the remaining superstar will be declared the winner. Now, let the match begin.
Well, fans, I don't mind telling you, this one feels like it's a few weeks late. Maybe should have happened around Halloween. The Macho Man kicks things off with a series of drop kicks, and the Undertaker does not go down. 3 drop kicks right there by the Macho Man, no effect whatsoever. Make it 4, and the Undertaker simply won't go down. What have you got to do to drop the dead man? Well, something different than the Macho Man's doing so far, but he's not giving up. Unbelievable. Well, at the same time, it's a smart move because the Macho Man, he doesn't want to go toe-to-toe with this guy, but it had no real effect on him. And now look at this, the Undertaker right away taking over. And first into the top turnbuckle. And now the Undertaker throwing the Macho Man all the way up and over. And now the action taking place here on the Boston Garden floor. Choking him out. This is all legal, ladies and gentlemen. There are no countouts, no disqualifications. It's anything goes wrestling. And it'll be decided by the man who puts the other inside of that casket. We want to welcome everyone joining us here live on the Nation Network. Saturday morning superstars of wrestling here live from Beantown. And now get a look at this. The Undertaker opening that casket lid. He may be ready to deposit the Macho Man. Working now over the arm of the Macho Man, Randy Savage, is the Undertaker. Well, shout out to Andrew Roberts in the house, along with Judd joining us here. And look at this. Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer. Are you kidding me? This is more than a match, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're playing for keeps. You can do so much damage with a sledgehammer. You could definitely end somebody's career with one, I'll tell you that right now. Steel chair coming out, and the Undertaker crashing it into the ribcage. And another drop kick by the Macho Man has no effect. Savage getting thrown into the railing here and just brutalized by the Undertaker. And as I said at the start of the match, maybe not the best idea for the Macho Man to get involved in this type of match. This crowd actually starting to chant for The Undertaker, if you can believe it. Well, there's no accounting for the fans in Boston. It's not like they have the greatest taste in the world. I mean, they root for the Celtics, for God's sakes. The Celtics, one of the greatest teams of all time. You tell yourself that if you want. Off the ropes now. Series of forearm shots to the lower back by The Undertaker. And now he just dumped him. Inside the casket, now The Undertaker gonna try and close the lid. If he gets that lid shut, the match will be over. But the Macho Man not done yet. Well, the Macho Man Randy Savage is gonna have to do something. I would pick up that sledgehammer if I were him and start using it, because the drop kicks haven't done him any good. But there's a big move right there by the Macho Man. Belly to back suplex on the floor, and that definitely took an effect on The Undertaker. He felt that one. Look at him sitting back up as if nothing. Savage now staying on top of The Undertaker, has him in trouble now. Here's a nice suplex on the floor. And I think perhaps Randy Savage has realized that he can do more damage to The Undertaker here on the concrete floor than he can inside the ring. Well, it's not really a concrete floor as much as a wood floor. The parquet, of course, located directly beneath the paneling, but either way, it is a very solid surface. Clothesline. Oh, the Macho Man in trouble. He is out. And again, that steel chair being bent over the body of the Macho Man. And The Undertaker is going right back to the casket once again. The battle continuing here ringside. They have not been in the ring hardly at all this one. This battle has taken place significantly on the floor. Savage has him a pile driver on the floor. Oh, that's going to do damage. I don't care who you are. Yeah, no doubt about it. The Undertaker's been sitting up from a lot of things. He's been taking a beating and coming right back, but not from that one, you won't. Not from that. I don't care who you are. That one's going to put you down, and it might keep you down. But now the problem is he's almost 300 pounds. How do you get him all the way over to the casket? You're on the opposite side of the ring. And now here comes a sledgehammer. It's as if he was listening to your instructions. Well, yeah, but it backfired on him almost anyway, because he didn't manage to maintain possession of it. Look at this from the top rope, the Macho Man crashing on top of The Undertaker. They are battling it out here amongst the chairs. The seating area here for the ringside crew is under attack. We've got to get out of here. Well, they say all's fair in love and war, and this is definitely war right here. The Macho Man power bomb on top of the chairs. Randy Savage going to have to figure something out very quickly right now, because The Undertaker handing out a beating to the Macho Man. And now we finally get back inside the squared circle for the first time in how long? It's been a minute. Here's the Irish whip, and now The Undertaker into the casket. If the Macho Man can close the lid, it'll be all over. No, the Macho Man's not getting it shut yet. Look at The Undertaker fighting his way back. He won't go down without a fight. The dead man still going. He was going underneath that apron trying to pull out another weapon, and the Macho Man decided he was not going to allow that to happen. Well, it only stalled him for the moment. Oh my, he's got a shovel. He's going to bury him. He's going to dig the grave to put the casket in, and right now he is just going to town on the Macho Man with that steel shovel. This is absolutely unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. We've never witnessed anything like this in the world of professional wrestling before. This is definitely next level. Oh, no, don't do it. He's going to hit him with a tombstone. There it is. And if this had a referee involved, then the match would be over. Look at this. The Undertaker bringing him over to the casket and deposits him on the apron. And now the big boot on the Macho Man. Trying to stop it. Can he keep the Undertaker from closing the lid? He may be closing the lid on the career of the Macho Man. Not yet. Randy Savage managing to fight him off, but how much more can he take? How much more can he withstand? This has been an absolute beatdown. Here's a steel chair, and again cracking him in the ribs with it. You see the other chairs laying around the ring that are already destroyed. Macho Man from the top rope, cross body to the floor, and down goes the Undertaker. Well, I'll say this right now, and I don't say it all that often, but I'll say it this time, and I don't think I've ever meant it the same. Neither one of these men will possibly be the same when this match is over as they were when they walked in tonight. I have to 100% agree with you on that one. This has been like nothing we've ever seen before. And now the Undertaker's in the casket. The Macho Man trying to get the lid shut. Can he do it? The struggle is on, and the Macho Man unable to close the door on the Undertaker. The fans here in Boston on their feet. Back elbow by Savage, connecting with the jaw of the Undertaker. Now the Macho Man, Randy Savage, to the top rope. Could it be? He's going to go for the big elbow, but nobody was home. Devastating clothesline right there by the Undertaker. And now he brings that steel chair back into the ring. Down into the chest, and again. Has him up against the ropes now. Randy Savage is in trouble and deposits him inside the casket, and now once again, the Undertaker going to try and close the lid if he can. If he gets it shut, he will be the winner of this matchup, and the Macho Man fighting desperately to keep the lid from closing. Well, Savage was able once again to escape. And how close was it? I'm telling you. Both, oh, look at it, Savage now. Randy Savage has got a hold of that shovel, and he's using it on the dead man. And for the first time, the Undertaker is in serious trouble. He's been busted open. We've never seen that before. The Undertaker is actually bleeding. Maybe he is a man after all. Macho Man Randy Savage with a pile driver. Well, once again, the challenge for the Macho Man right now is going to be, how do I get this big guy over there to the casket and put him in? Another pile driver. That's two in a row. If he can get him in the casket, he might have the win. Crowd is chanting one more time. I think he'll kill him if he does it one more time. Splash off the top of the rope of the Macho Man Randy Savage, and what is going to become an instant classic, setting the Undertaker over. Closing the lid, the Undertaker fighting it off and refuses. Well, you know what? The Undertaker right now reminded me a little bit of that movie, The Terminator. He just keeps on coming. You can't put him down. He's using the ring stairs on the Macho Man.
You know, we've heard the saying, everything, including the kitchen sink. Well, I think right now the only thing we haven't used is the kitchen sink. What a phenomenal matchup. It's not even a wrestling match. It's a battle. It's a war between these two dudes.
And he got him up with a big scoop slam. The Macho Man Randy Savage from the top rope. Gonna go for the elbow. And yes, he hits. Savage getting ready. He brings him over. He's going to try and put him in that casket if he can. You take a look at the condition of that steel chair. That tells you the story. And now the Macho Man Randy Savage. Can he close the lid? The Undertaker again. He's got an arm. No, he couldn't do it. Randy Savage victorious.
Wow, I've got to tell you, I'm really impressed. The Macho Man Randy Savage found a way.
Well, the way this match started out, ladies and gentlemen, it did not look good for the Macho Man, not at all.
No, it didn't look good for him because I'll tell you what, he came out with I don't know how many drop kicks, but none of them did anything to The Undertaker. It wasn't until the action went out to the floor that he finally got some offense that did some damage.
Series of pile drivers towards the end had to be what tipped the scales in the favor of the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, well, we're going to take a look at it right here. There was one, and right after that, he had another one, and I think we might be getting a look at it right here. Yep. Watch this, and when he put a little extra stank on it right there.
And then, of course, the flying elbow drop. No, that was the splash. I beg your pardon. And here we see the last moments before the closing of the casket.
Here's your winner, Macho Man Randy Savage.
What a tremendous victory here at the Gardens for that man right there, the Macho Man, in what was a bloody battle of two titans. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Indeed, it was a most memorable night and a memorable match from the Garden. You and I were both there, just calling the action worthy of Match of the Year.
Well, it definitely was worthy of Match of the Year. You saw these guys bringing everything they could get their hands on. That's how much the victory meant to both of them, that they were going to go to the very ends of the earth to make it happen. Macho Man Randy Savage, massive victory for him in a match that would cater to The Undertaker. I don't know that there were too many people that were betting their money on the Macho Man to win that one.
Indeed, reaching down deep to come over the odds and manage to pull out a most impressive victory. Moving on to our next match is one that recently occurred here on the Nation Network. As a matter of fact, there were a lot of firsts involved that night. It was the first time we ever featured a program from the North Pole of all places.
Well, I've got to tell you, I was a little bit surprised to find out that we were heading up to Santa's place. But even though it was the elite line of wrestling talent, I got to tell you, this next match really did live up to the hype, and it's worthy of being considered a Match of the Year candidate.
Well, I couldn't agree with you anymore. We're going to head over to the North Pole, ladies and gentlemen, return to the cold weather and the atmosphere, and take a look at our next contender for Match of the Year.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Heavyweight Championship.
This is it, ladies and gentlemen, for the Hasbro Heavyweight Championship, and here comes the challenger.
Well, even in the North Pole, he can't get an overwhelming reception. It's a half-half.
The face that runs the place, John Cena. The man known now as Never Seen 17, the only 17-time World Heavyweight Champion in the World Wrestling Federation, looking to add the Hasbro Championship to his most impressive resume.
Well, it's one thing to want to, it's another thing to be able to, and he's going to have an uphill battle if he's going to get it done here tonight.
And here comes the champion, ladies and gentlemen, Hulk Hogan. The Hulkster here with the Hasbro Championship.
Well, Trump Hogan might have that belt coming down the aisle right now, but I'll be very surprised if he still has it at the end of the night. Even if he finds a way to retain it, it wouldn't surprise me if one of those sneaky little elves would come and steal it.
Give me a break. Ladies and gentlemen, live from the North Pole, this is our main event of the evening on a very special holiday edition of Saturday Morning Superstars of Wrestling, right here on the Nation Network. The Hulkster looks like he's ready to go. I talked to him earlier tonight and asked him one simple question, and he basically came back with one of his own.
And what you gonna do when Hulkamania and the largest arms in the world run wild on you?
The challenger from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in at 251 pounds, John Cena. And his opponent from Venice Beach, California, weighing in at 303 pounds, the heavyweight champion, the Immortal Hogan.
Well, Hulk Hogan holding that Hasbro Championship up.
Well, he's taking a good look at it as if he might be saying goodbye, and he very well might be saying goodbye.
That is what we are fighting for, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, normally I would mention the fact that John Cena looks like he is chiseled out of granite, but right now he looks like he's carved out of plastic. But he's carved perfectly.
Indeed, what a physique. Both of these men are in tip-top condition, no matter whether it's their actual being or here in the elite lineup. Cena early on working on the head and neck area of the Hulkster. Hogan the champion, Cena the challenger. The setting, the North Pole, 5 days out from Christmas. Cena unloading with a series of rights, lefts, and a big boot to the midsection. Follows it up with a forearm to the back, and down goes Hogan. Cena now on the middle rope. What's he going to do?
Well, he's definitely planning something here, waiting for Trump Hogan to get up. Well, he changed his plan. Big clothesline, though. Nice follow-up. If you've got a pivot, that's not a bad move.
Cena again now on the middle rope. Perhaps he likes the position better this way. Oh, they missed the target. Hogan suckered him.
Yeah, it would appear that that's exactly what happened. Hogan baited a bit and he bit.
Hogan going to work now on the trapezius. Cross ankle sweep, down he goes. Stomp it away. Cena working now the ankle and the knee of Hulk Hogan.
Well, that's a smart move. Everyone knows Hogan's had bad wheels for years. Actually, there's a lot going wrong with him. The back is kind of going out. The hips are going out. He's a battered down champion at this point in time. Not too much left in the tank, I think. And I think Cena might be ripe for the pickings right here.
Big right hand by the Hulkster. It's going to take a lot to put Hogan down for a 3 count. Cena's capable. I will admit that. The Hulkster rolls him over, hooks the leg. I think it's a little too early for a 3 count. And indeed, Cena able to kick out. They tie up in the middle of the ring once again. Cena has Hogan up over the shoulder, brings him over to the rope, and drops him throat first across the top rope. Cena now in the corner, wants Hogan back on his feet. What's he going to do? From the top rope, we tried that before. Cross body, and this time he does not miss.
Well, as many times as I've ever seen Cena wrestle, I've got to tell you, high-risk maneuvers not something he's known for. I'm not sure why he's doing it here tonight. Maybe he thinks he has to have something different in his repertoire to get past the champion. But anyone that does high-risk moves will tell you they're great when they work, but they kill you when they don't.
Hogan is up on the shoulders. Electric chair drop on the floor.
Hogan just brushing off that drop kick as if it were nothing. And again, that's not a part of the normal repertoire of John Cena, and I think he's really trying to add some new wrinkles to his game here tonight.
Not a bad idea if you can get it to work. I am sure the Hulkster has scouted Cena leading up to this match. Up on the shoulder, and again dropping Hogan throat first across the top rope. Cena going to the top. 5-knuckle shovel off the top rope. That could be all she wrote. We might have a new champion to crown. Here's 2. Shoulder barely off the mat.
Hogan got that shoulder up, but not by much. Cena's got to look to put him away right now.
He was trying to go for the STFU. That's not going to happen. Hogan right back up now. Meeting the challenge with an answer. Drop down, nicely done. Leapfrog by Hogan, of all things. Back body drop, and Cena goes for the ride.
His feet clearly underneath the bottom rope, but the referee's paying no attention to the details. It would be terrible to see the championship decided because of a referee's blown call.
Scoop slam, and now Hogan to the ropes, drops the leg. Will that be enough to retain? The referee slides into position. There's 1, there's 2, and Cena kicks out.
When you hear the chants and people complaining about Super Cena, this is what it's all about. Most people would not have handled that maneuver. He kicked out on 1. That's the difference between John Cena and everybody else.
And that is the difference in what Hulk Hogan is facing here tonight in this challenge. Everyone we have seen tonight capable of being the next in line for the Hasbro Championship. To the ropes, back out front, drop down, nicely done by Cena. Leapfrog, and now shoulder tackle, and Hogan is down. The challenger has got the ball in his court now. Let's see what he can do with it. Overhead, into a cutter.
As I said before, he's pulling out all the stops right now. We're seeing a lot of things from him that we don't necessarily get to see.
Stomping away on the back. They tie up now. Irish whip to the ropes, back out front. Drop down by Cena. Back body drop, and the champion landing with a thud. German suplex, Hogan landing on his neck and the back of his head.
That one done a lot of damage, I can tell you right now. That did a lot of damage.
5-knuckle shovel. Hooks the leg. Will that be enough to get the championship? Not yet. They tie up one more time now. Nice takedown by the challenger, Hogan. I thought he was going. He is outside the ring now. We take a look at the capacity crowd here, ladies and gentlemen, from the North Pole. Hogan kicking off. Big knee right to the head. And now he's got him in the bear hug. He's going to try and get a submission. Can he do it? Cena trying to hang on.
Cena's going to have to break this hold very quickly, and he finds a way to do it.
Has him up over the shoulders, and oh, he's transitioning to the attitude adjustment, but Hogan reverses out of that and drops the leg. What a reversal.
And what you gonna do when Hulkamania and the largest arms in the world run wild on you?
Hulkamania running wild here at the North Pole. Cena just struck that top turnbuckle, and Hogan stomping him into the corner. What a match, ladies and gentlemen, this has been. Back and forth, up and down.
No doubt about it, this is the main event, and it's living up to the billing.
Hogan drops the leg off the middle rope. That's gotta be it. Shoulder is up. Hogan wants him back on his feet. He's got what he wants. Irish whips him to the ropes. Nice hip toss by the champion. I thought he might be going for the big boot. Drops an elbow to the small of the back, and this time he goes for another one. Cena moves out of the way.
Well, then Cena goes for a cross body block, but completely falls short of the target. I think right now he's starting to wind down.
What's Hogan got in mind here? I saw him grabbing the leg for a moment there. I thought he was going to attempt the STFU. Can you imagine?
Hogan is not a submission wrestler. Once in a while, he might get a bear hug on you, but that's about it.
Cena, poised. Brings the champion headfirst into the turnbuckle he goes. And now the double axe handle to the back of Hulk Hogan. Thrusting the shoulders into the ribcage. Oh, what an up kick by Hogan.
I'm pretty sure that was below the belt.
Well, the referee is right there. Did not make any call for such action. It was close, I'll admit that. Referee just got caught up in the crossfire. And now Cena with a best present raining down the right hands on the champion. He's got him up. Attitude adjustment. We might have a new champion. There's one. There's two. And Hogan got a shoulder. I don't believe it. Cena goes for the elbow. Nobody's home. Shoulder block by Cena. Another one. Swing and a miss by the champion, and Cena drives him. Cena going up to that top rope now. This might be that five-knuckle shuffle. Indeed it is. It connects, and Hogan's out. He's done. We've got a new champion. There's 2 and 3.
Well, as I've always said, all good things come to an end, and I'm not so sure having Hogan as champion was a good thing or not. But as the song says, his time is here, his time is now. And John Cena has brought those words to life here in the North Pole this morning.
Indeed he has. What a tremendous victory right there for John Cena. The brand new Hasbro Heavyweight Champion. What a night of action here at the North Pole. Cena coming off the ropes here with a 5-knuckle shuffle. He hit with a few of those, and they weren't enough. Not until that last one. Look at this. What a great series of moves right there. The transition from the attitude adjustment to the leg drop, and still not enough. I thought Hogan had him right there.
Well, Hulk Hogan definitely brought everything he had with him. He hit all the big moves, but it wasn't enough on this occasion to keep John Cena's shoulders down. There was another attitude adjustment, but right from there, what does he do? Goes right back to the top rope, doesn't bother with the referee or anything. That one right there really rocked the world of Hulk Hogan.
Indeed, and that crowns a brand new champion. The brand new Hasbro champion, ladies and gentlemen, is John Cena. What a night of action we've had here for you on Saturday morning. Superstars of... All right, wrestling fans, what a tremendous match from the North Pole. Still get chills watching that one. It was a cold one.
It was a tremendous night of wrestling, and I'll tell you right now, it was a very special event taking place on Christmas. And look at the match that we had for the championship. You have to admit that was a tremendous match no matter who did it. It was a tremendous match. I enjoyed that one. Glad to see Chump Hogan going down for the count.
Indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our next match in the lineup for match of the year contention forced its way into the top 4 in the last 48 hours. The buzz has been incredible. The history-making tone for the first time ever. Title versus title. Champion versus champion. And boy, did it deliver for all the expectations. It far surpassed, I believe, expectations, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know what? I was watching that one. It was a tremendous matchup between two big guys that know how to wrestle. They know how to fight. They know how to put on a hell of a show. And they did just that. And that's why, right now, they're still in the running for the match of the year.
Just in under the wire, ladies and gentlemen. Let's send you to a very special match that took place in the UWF very recently.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Universal Wrestling and the Universal Wrestling Championships.
Well, we've never had a title versus title match until tonight. As we take a look at the UWF Television Champion, Dr. Death Steve Williams making his way down the aisle. Between he and Bam Bam Terry Gordy, they have been back and forth with victories. Herb Abrams decided, you know what, you guys want to do this one time, let's settle it. One time, both titles up for grabs. One man walks away with it all. Who will it be? As you said, we've seen these two guys already going at it back and forth, and the fact of the matter is, and either one of these guys could be victorious. They've each had their opportunities. They've each had victories in this feud of theirs. But tonight, there's a lot riding on it. You've got not one, but two championships. And Bam Bam, the heavyweight champion here of the UWF, making his way down the aisle. Bam Bam Bigelow. Still to come, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be hearing from Herb Abrams regarding the Beach Brawl pay-per-view coming up next week. I'm very, very excited to hear about this. wanted to know exactly what matches we're going to have this year, but it's going to be a great night of professional wrestling. I have all the confidence in the world. Title versus title, champion versus champion.
Introducing first, from Norman, Oklahoma, weighing in at 274 pounds, the Universal Wrestling Champion, Dr. Steve Williams. And his opponent, from Asbury Park, New Jersey, weighing in at 390 pounds, the Universal Wrestling Champion, Bannon Big L.O.
Champion versus champion titles are on the line, and only one of these men will walk out with gold when it's said and done. Referee collecting not one, but 2 championship titles. Well, we're going to make history here today, no doubt about that. And when you talk about the ultimate bragging rights here, and Bam Bam Bigelow wasting no time at all, running across the ring, cross body block, and Dr. Death early on at a disadvantage in this one. Well, you look at these two guys, they're both legitimately pushing the 300-pound mark, but they move so well for their size. Bam Bam Bigelow, probably one of the greatest big men of all time. And Dr. Steve Williams, you know, he's a former football player at a very high level, Oklahoma State University. He's held many, many championships throughout the United States, and not to mention across the pond in places like Japan. Good move right there by Dr. Death Steve Williams, able to reverse out of it. Went for a quick roll-up on Bam Bam Bigelow. Perhaps just to test the waters a little bit. Too early in the match for either one of these men to even think about getting a 3 count. Yeah, I would be very surprised to see a 3 count at this point in the match, but you never know when it comes to a submission hold. You get somebody locked up in a good submission hold, and that might be over very quickly. Neither one of these guys really known for doing anything in the way of submission wrestling. Not to say that they can't, but they're a couple of true bruiser heavyweights, and they are going to hit with the heavy artillery here tonight. Bam Bam Bigelow has got Dr. Death Steve Williams and brings him head first into the turnbuckle. You would think that the heavyweight champion would have to be the favorite. Under normal circumstances, I might say that, yeah, but you're talking about 2 champions coming into this ring together. And you're looking at guys who have each beat each other recently. So, yeah, I think you throw that out the door right there. You're looking at the television champion, you're looking at the heavyweight champion, and one of them is just going to get the break here tonight. Whether it's the mistake made by the other man, I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out, but there's a mistake right there. Bam Bam Bigelow missed with that drop kick, but he got lucky. Well, he got lucky for a moment, but it didn't last long. Now, Dr. Death Steve Williams. Gonna try for a submission hold, perhaps? Oh, never mind. He's going with a giant swing on Bam Bam Bigelow, and he throws him across the ring. Bigelow up, but he don't know what day it is. And now look at his shoulder blocks by Dr. Death Steve Williams. And Dr. Death Steve Williams is back in control. Bouncing the head of Bam Bam Bigelow. And now Doc from the top rope. He got caught. We saw that happen to Superfly Jimmy Snuka earlier tonight. If you go to that top rope, you better know that you've got it under control. And again, these are not the kind of things you would not. Look at that move right there. Bam Bam Bigelow normally will hit with that one. He overshot his target. Perhaps the adrenaline running a little too much. Atomic knee drop, and Dr. Death Steve Williams going to try and put this one away. Got a 2 count. He got a 2 count. That was close. Well, everyone knows that when it comes to these wrestlers, they're not paid by the hour. So if you can get the match over with and get your opponent out of there right away, then you do it. Some stiff clotheslines right there by Dr. Death Steve Williams. And now has got Bam Bam Bigelow down with a backbreaker right across, and he double stomp to the midsection. Normally in a match like this, I would be calling out things like the champion or the challenger, but both men are champions. Both men have titles on the line. Yeah, this history-making match. We've never done this in the UWF. I don't remember too many places where you could ever say you saw 2 champions walking in, both putting their titles on the line in a match. It's something that happens very rarely in the world of professional wrestling. So your fans are really in for a treat here tonight. And, you know, if it was a normal title match, these guys would be letting it all hang out. But now it's not normal. There are 2 titles on the line. History making. We keep saying it. Well, everybody wants to be able to say that they were the ones that did it the first time. And this is the first time in UWF history that 2 titles have been up for grabs. And both these guys want to walk away from tonight punching their names into the record book. Well, it won't be the record book. It will be the history books if they can get it done. And now, shoulder block off the top rope by Dr. Death Steve Williams, and only a 1 count. How in the world did Bam Bam kick out of that so easily? I'll tell you, it's the adrenaline rushing right now because he even Dr. Death hooked the leg, did everything right. And now Bam Bam Bigelow doing it right. Look at the fight between these 2 guys, and Dr. Death Steve Williams has been busted open. But he's looking for that Oklahoma Sooner Slam, and there it is. We might have the winner of the match right here. Will that be enough to keep Bam Bam's shoulders down? No, and even he kicks out again. Well, Doc now has that blood flowing, and that might work for him because he's the kind of guy that will fire up on moments like that. Oh, tremendous move right there by Dr. Death Steve Williams, hitting with that spine buster. Look at the strength on the man. Deadlifts him into a sit-out powerbomb. Shoulders are down for 2. He got, oh my, thought he had him. Wow, I'll tell you right now, how close was that? That was incredibly close. From the top rope, Dr. Death Steve Williams. Not used to seeing him go high risk like that. He's fortunate right now that cut on his forehead is not too bad. It's there, but it's not really blinding him. But, well, that could all change if Bam Bam Bigelow keeps on hitting him like that. Oh, a headbutt to Dr. Death Steve Williams into your boy Bigelow. Definitely picking that injured part of the forehead to deliver the headbutt to. And Williams is down and maybe out. Bam Bam Bigelow from the top rope. There's the headbutt again. Will that be enough to secure the victory? Not yet. Holy cow, how in the world is he kick out of that? I have no idea how he managed that one. I thought for sure the match was over. Bam Bam Bigelow thought the match was over. What is he doing? All the way to the floor! There's no way Dr. Death Steve Williams is going to come back from that. That is the most tremendous thing I've ever seen anyone take. You're talking about a good 12-foot drop at least onto a hard floor surface. Bigelow is absolutely punishing Dr. Death Steve Williams, and I cannot imagine how Dr. Death Steve Williams is continuing to fight back in this one. And now he's unloading on Bam Bam Bigelow. He's trying to split him open too, I think. I think now it's a matter of blood for blood. But Give credit all the credit in the world to Dr. Death Steve Williams. How he's fighting this at this point in time, I don't know. Williams setting him up, and now Bam Bam Bigelow caught another shot to the head with the boot of Dr. Death Steve Williams. Has Bigelow in the corner now. What's attacking the leg? My goodness, Dr. Death Steve Williams has been brutalized, and now he's coming back as if nothing happened from the top rope. Dr. Death drives the knee right to the chest. That might be it. I think he might have just done enough. Shoulder is up. Bam Bam Bigelow will not surrender. Bam Bam with a scoop. And drops Dr. Death Steve Williams head first into the turnbuckle. That blood really flowing out, and Doc kicks out on one. Can you believe this? No, I'm having a very hard time believing this right now. Dr. Death Steve Williams coming back now with a back body drop after that big clothesline on Bam Bam Bigelow. Finishes it up with a spine buster, and now Doc for the titles. All the gold. And another shoulder comes off the canvas. Bam Bam Bigelow, he may have handed out some of the heaviest damage, but he is kicked out from some of the toughest pins. Another Oklahoma Stampede. Yeah, he got him with that one. I don't think Bam Bam's going to be able to kick out this time. Dr. Death Steve Williams survives. He manages to overcome. Wow, I'll tell you right now, that right there was tremendous. I was so impressed by the effort of both of these men. It's unbelievable what we just saw. What a highlight night it was, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about living up to the billing, living up to the hype. Title versus title, champion versus champion, and neither one of these men would accept defeat until it was inevitable. Now, both of these guys, hats off to them. I mean, Bam Bam Bigelow not going to be feeling too good about not coming out with the victory or a belt there tonight. But my goodness, the stuff that he kicked out of, no normal man could have done, and he did it like 3, 4, 5 times. This is right here, tremendous matches, as good as it's ever going to get. Could be looking at a match of the year contender, no two ways about it. There's the cover. Shoulders were down, couldn't quite put him away. Running power slam right there, that Oklahoma Stampede. Nobody does it like Doc. Yeah, Bigelow, you could just tell that drove all the wind.
Here is your Dr. Steve Williams.
We'll be back with Herb Abrams, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. What a match that one was, ladies and gentlemen. Title versus title, champion versus champion. And both men, as they say, left it all in the ring. It was a tremendous night of wrestling. It was a tremendous matchup. And that is why that match has quickly elevated itself to the top 4 spot here for the match of the year contention. We're about to go to our 4th and final match, ladies and gentlemen. Shortly, once we begin, we will put the poll up here for you to cast your vote for match of the year. That said, there are certain matches that go beyond the pale of normal competition. There are times when it's more than just man versus man or team versus team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Sometimes it gets so personal that lines get blurred in the sand, so to speak. And this was one of those occasions, because it wasn't a matter of this guy versus that guy. It was this company versus that company.
Indeed, it was all on the line, and somebody was going to come up on the short end of the stick. The question is, would it be the XWF or the IWF? To find out, we're going to send you back in time, once again, to the War Games.
All right, fans, we are back. The cell from hell hanging above the ring. And here comes the first entrant for the IWF.
Making his way to the ring from Battle Creek, Michigan, weighing in at 214 pounds, Rob Van Dam.
Well, this Rob Van Dam is a tremendous young wrestler. He's got all kinds of moves, but he decided to do something he should have done, attacking members of the XWF right here behind our own soundstage here at 21. That was absolutely uncalled for. Not going to be tolerated very much at all, and that's what this is all about now, is retribution. But then we see what's happened here tonight.
Indeed, every member of the scheduled IWF team systematically has been eliminated backstage. We don't even know who's representing the XWF in our main event tonight now.
Well, we know who we're going to have to go up against because they've managed to stay healthy somehow.
Oh, here comes the next member of the IWF. And the man who has apparently been the mastermind behind this entire all-out assault leading up to tonight, the Incredible Four.
Well, you might think that he's some sort of mythological god or something like that, but I'll tell you right now, if I've got to step into the ring myself, I'll take him on, and he'll find out he's not so indestructible.
Oh, I'd pay to see that. Once again, welcome everybody joining us here live on the Nation Network. This is the main event. If you haven't already, please take a moment, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe for tremendous content coming your way.
I want to see us get to at least 10 likes on this here live. During the live stream, we can get 3 more. Let's do that.
You see that hammer he carries into the ring. How much damage could a man do with that?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to hold it to see what kind of weight's into that thing, but potentially it could be one hell of a weapon. And hey, once that cell comes down, whatever you can get your hands on is part of it.
He is a fierce man, no doubt about that, this Four. One of the number one contenders, you might say, for Cliff Anderson's championship. We saw Cliff earlier tonight coming up on the short end of the stick. And here's a man that we're very familiar with.
43 pounds,
Greg the Hammer Valentine, a year ago, wrestled right here for the XWF.
Well, he felt he wasn't getting used properly, wasn't getting the opportunities he was worthy of, and he went and took on an opportunity to go to the IWF. Not so sure things are working out any better for him over there.
Turning his back on the people that he shared a locker room with, though, as he was part of the ensemble that attacked Bam Bam Bigelow, AJ Styles, and the Hurricane here in the back lot.
All right, fans, the poll is now open.
Welcome, everyone, once
Cast
again
your
to the
vote for
Nation
Match
Network.
of
This
the year.
is the main event, and we're about to find out who will represent the XWF. Are you kidding me? What in the world?
863 pounds. He's
Hulk Hogan and his Immortals. He has returned.
Well, where's he been for the last 2.5 months is what I want to know.
Hulk Hogan is the man who owns the XWF. He was a former CEO, had to step down or give up the championship,
Which he ended up losing anyway.
All right, the bell sounds. Action is underway, and we are going to bring it to you as best we can. All 6 men are active. Anything goes. Pinfall or submission is the only way for this one to end. Hogan over the top rope and out to the floor he goes. Rob Van Dam out there with the Hulkster, throws him back into the ring.
There's no countouts, no disqualifications. There's only one way to win, pinfall or submission.
We have not seen the Legion of Doom here in the XWF in at least 10 months. Thor with a slam on Hawk, and Greg the Hammer Valentine now going to work on Animal. Electric chair, and he drops him like a bad habit. And now look at this. Here's the matchup. Thor going up against Hogan. Battles inside the ring, battles outside the ring. It is just breaking down here, ladies and gentlemen. Too much to cover.
Well, the cameraman's going to have a tough job as well, just trying not to get run over by anybody.
Hogan slingshotted out of the corner, and now Thor going to work on Hawk in the corner. Oh, I thought Van Dam was going to fly for a moment there. That would have been something. He and Hogan at ringside now. Big uppercut. And Thor going for the cover. Animal there to make the save. Van Dam just took out Hawk, I believe. Animal's been covered again, and this is really chaotic, ladies and gentlemen. And now Hogan back in the ring. Dropping the elbow on Rob Van Dam.
Right to the eyes, and it's all legal in this one, and I can't believe I'm actually going to be in any way, shape, or form rooting for Hogan, but as opposed to these IWF rejects that have come in here and caused all kinds of shenanigans, better the devil that I know than the devil I don't know.
Hogan now going up against Greg the Hammer Valentine. No strangers there. When Hogan was wearing the World Heavyweight title, Valentine was definitely a man he had to deal with. Meantime, into the steel was Thor, and again. And now Thor and Hogan.
The sound of steel was just absolutely rattling.
We've got bodies inside the ring, outside the ring. Hogan and Thor are on the floor, and they are not moving.
Once again, Valentine and Hogan line it up.
Animal taking a cover attempt, and there's Rob Van Dam to make the save. Van Dam, I thought he was going for the cover. Hogan with a big atomic knee drop, and now he's got Greg the Hammer Valentine. Again going for the cover. Meantime, I was going to say, no way he's going to make a save. Well, the thing I'll say right now when it comes to the team representing the IWF, the difference right now is the ownership here and the leadership here is soundly behind Hulk Hogan and the Immortals. The IWF owner, Eddie Mansfield, not real happy with Thor for all the chaos he's caused between the two sound stages and the two companies. I don't know that matters to Thor very much. It certainly hasn't thus far. Hogan with a splash on Rob Von Dam going for the cover. And Von Dam able to kick out. Hogan going down again. Look at Thor with a power slam. He's got his feet up on the ropes. Hogan did. Still wasn't enough. Hurricane running nicely done. And now, meantime, Thor just got dropped. And I believe, indeed, let's see. Yes, he has been busted open. Thor is in trouble. Well, we knew it was going to be chaotic. Even I didn't know it was going to be this bad, though. Thor goes to the cover. Hawk slammed into the steel cage. Hogan able to kick out. And now there's a table introduced to the match. Again, drives him into the steel cage. Well, none of these six dudes, I'll tell you, will be the same tomorrow morning. How can you be? The human body not meant to take the punishment that they are all taking here tonight. Snapmare takes over Hulk Hogan, and now Valentine taking down one half of the Legion of Doom. What is it going to take for anyone to get a 3 count or a submission in this one? I can't imagine. Valentine just dropped Hawk into the top turnbuckle, and now the table coming in, and Thor is taking out all members of the XWF, I should say. Hogan now set into the turnbuckle here. Bad situation if you're Hulk Hogan. Thor with a big slam, thinks he's got him. Animal able to break that one up. If you're just joining us, fans, Bam Bam Bigelow, AJ Styles, the Hurricane were all supposed to be representatives here for the XWF. They were assaulted throughout the course of the night, unable physically to compete tonight. And Teddy Long, look at that through the table. Teddy Long came up with what he referred to as suitable opposition. Big pile driver right there by Thor. Animal not moving. Valentine down, and again Thor and Hogan walking up, and that's pretty much the marquee right there. Going for the cover. 2 count, and that almost ended the night. Von Dam has got the shoulders. Hogan gets intercepted, and Animal able to kick out. I gotta tell you, oh, look at that. Hogan just got hurled. Oh, and he's been busted open. Hogan in trouble. But the cage wall has come down. We are losing cage wall 2 times now, both sides. These guys are fighting inside and outside the cage. This is unbelievable. The Hammer with a pile driver on Animal. Goes to the cover. Save made by Hogan. They are tearing the place apart. We've got bodies flying everywhere now, and Rob Von Dam going for a cover, and again the shoulder able to come up. Valentine from behind and sends Hogan into the turnbuckle. Pile driver. Hogan on the receiving end. Look at this. Thor coming over. He wants to take advantage as well. Good Lord Almighty. This is a lot more than I was bargaining for tonight. Valentine with another big clothesline. And look at this. The Road Warrior connecting. Well, the Road Warriors no strangers to these types of confines. Of course, they were in the very first ever War Games match. Very similar in style. Well, so far as the facility, it's very similar, but at least with the War Games, you had opportunities to have a man advantage for a little while. Thor now on the outside of the cage. Look at the bruises and the damage starting to be prevalent. Look at it. The cage has been absolutely dismantled. Panel after panel has been smashed by the bodies of the competitors in this matchup. Normally when flesh meets steel, steel wins. However, on this occasion, it looks like steel's not doing so well. Big uppercut. Back and forth, the battle rages on here. What is it going to take for either team to get a victory? I can't imagine. Well, it's not a wrestling match. It's an all-out Donnybrook. It's a brawl. There's no love lost in this one, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you. You know, at this point, you might take that steel chain that's locking the door. The door doesn't serve a purpose anymore. I'd be using that as a weapon. Well, you'd have to remove the lock. Well, you know what? I'd find a way. What in the hell's going on here? Hulk Hogan and Thor are going to battle on top of the steel structure. I don't believe this. This is a really risky maneuver by both men. Hogan just got dropped on his head on top of the cage. And now look at this, the Road Warrior Animal going up there. Thor going back up there, and now we've got a battle. Hogan's waiting on him. They collide. Oh, there's a big move. Hogan almost went over the edge. This is absolutely unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen, and now Valentine is up there, all 6 men going on top of the steel cage. The South from Hell was never designed for this. Von Dom dropping Hogan with a DDT. And now Thor, a bloody mess. And look at this animal. Oh, they all go crashing through. Everybody down, everybody out. We've got bodies everywhere. Thor is moving. And now he's going to try and get the victory on Hulk Hogan. Hogan manages to get up and Thor can't believe it. I can't believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, Hogan intercepted by the Road Warrior. And a big clothesline, and from behind Thor is in trouble. He goes for the cover. Will that be enough? He kicked out. I can't believe it. Well, we see bodies raining down. This time Hawk came crashing down from atop. Power slam. Will that be enough to keep him down? Indeed it is. Hulk Hogan and the Immortals are victorious. What a matchup this was. Fans, we thought it was going to be chaotic. Couldn't have imagined what we got. Well, I'll tell you right now, I've seen some steel cage matches before, but never anything like this one. At one point, all 6 men were battling it out on top, and then all of them come crashing through. Oh, this was absolutely too much to believe, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this, the bodies raining down. That steel structure is never going to be the same again either. Imagine what the bodies are going to feel like tomorrow.
Here are your winners.
Hulk Hogan and the Immortals victorious, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Well, not even the steel structure of the cell from hell could contain the action on that given night. And not only that, but even here, as we take a look at the poll, the action jumping off at 67% of the vote thus far, going for the War Games match featuring the XWF and the IWF.
Well, that was one of the greatest matches of the year. Now it appears that it might be, in fact, the greatest match of the year here on the Nation Network.
Let us let you know, we're going to keep this poll open for the next 12 hours. Of course, the poll itself won't be active, so you'll have to leave comments in the comment section down below if you weren't able to join us here for the live stream. We will take the comments, we will add them to the live poll results, and we will see who will actually get the crown of the title of Match of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we want to thank you so much for an incredible 2025 here on the Nation Network. We look forward to 2026 and bringing you some more of the greatest content of its kind anywhere here on the YouTube network.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, we have got some great stuff coming up for you guys, whether it's the old school stuff, whether it's some of the current stuff. And lately, I think we've tipped the hat a little bit that there's going to be some lucha action coming as well.
Indeed, the Luchas are in the house, and we will be seeing more of them as well. Ladies and gentlemen, programming note here, New Year's Eve. Rock it in with us because we will have Legends Mania 4, and it will be double down. It's going to be an incredible night of action, ladies and gentlemen. The matches, return matches that we've seen from the first 3 that still have questions that have been unanswered. But the main event, you won't want to miss that one. More information to come in the weeks to come. We will see you real soon, ladies and gentlemen. Want to thank everyone that was here live. Thank all of you watching later. Make sure you leave your vote for Match of the Year in the comments section below. And we'll see you real soon right here on the Nation Network.